Hi, my name is Matthew W. Kent. I'm the author of Harbor Defenses of San Francisco, Land's End, Point Lobos, Sutro Heights. Today I'm here at Sutro Heights Park, and we're going to go ahead and look at the double base end station located here on the property. This was actually once owned by Adolf Sutro in 1885, turned these grounds into an elaborate public garden. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the unique double base end station that's here at the government leased military reservation Sutro Heights. So go ahead and take a look. So we're now here at the government leased military reservation Sutro Heights. In a letter dated December 9th, 1941, the Office of the Chief of the Coast Artillery approved the acquisition of land to be acquired from the Board of Park Commissioners, City and County of San Francisco for the installation of 2 fire control stations, a portable searchlight position, and a cable right-of-way at Sutro Heights Park. This park is located in the outer Richmond district of Western San Francisco. This park is situated on the heights overlooking the famed Cliff House and was once owned by Adolf Sutro, who in 1885 turned the grounds into an elaborate public garden. On November 4th, 1941, a permit was obtained from the City and County of San Francisco, clearing the way for construction to commence on the property beginning in 1942. Okay, so now we're standing in front of the facade of the double base end station here at Sutro Heights. This is a pretty unique structure located within the Harbor Defenses of San Francisco. We're looking at a combined base end station built as one single structure. And this is actually built one almost right on top of another, and the second station on top is actually offset a little bit to the left. And since high ground provided the necessary elevation for the new observation/spotting stations, towers were not employed in the Harbor Defenses of San Francisco. Dug-in stations were preferable for the local terrain, practically invisible from the sea and air while protecting personnel and material. 2 reinforced concrete dug-in base-end stations housed in a single combined fire control structure would be built at Sutro Heights beginning in late 1942. This single concrete reinforced structure contained 2 base-end stations built one on top of another. The top station housed B2S2 battery howe and measured 10 feet by 8 inches by 12 feet by 4 inches. The lower station housed N3-2 is also identical in measurement. These 2 stations were similar reinforced concrete construction with 1-inch thick steel domes for front and overhead protection. Both were concealed with earth cover, vegetation, along with the local rock facade/dome. Entrance was gained from the rear of the stations through steel doors, or alternatively via the roof through manholes and slanted staircases with flat treads. Access to the lower station housing N3-2 was attained via a 4-foot wide corridor down a flight of 9 stairs located on the left side of the entrance corridor. Each station required 2 personnel at all times and were provided with 2 prison-type folding bunk racks mounted on the rear walls of both stations. Each station was provided with interior ventilation through a flue located on the rear wall of the individual station's entranceway. Of note, by October 1942, B2S2 battery howe was reassigned for use as B2S2 battery construction number 129. Stations were permanent, but not provided with heat or connections to water or sewer lines, nor were latrines provided. Data transmission was by sizzle core telephones. Both stations contain concrete bases for depression position finders. B2S2 BCM 129 had a Class 3 M2 DPF serial number 346 with a concrete pedestal at 195 feet MLLW, along with a model 1910 A1 azimuth instrument. M3 Mines 2 also had a Class 3 M1 DPF serial number 347 with a pedestal at 189 feet MLLW. Both observation slots for both stations were protected with movable one-piece counterbalanced steel visors. Both stations were transferred to the Coast Artillery on June 1st, 1943 for a total of $12,850. Okay, so we've now made our way up to the roof of the M3 Mines 2 station. You can see the concrete portion of the roof here with the entranceway for the manhole for personnel to go ahead and gain entrance to the station. The manhole cover that was originally here has obviously been replaced by steel plate by the Park Service. We can see the concrete on top of the dome, and also if we look over to the left, you can actually see the 1-inch thick steel dome, and there would have been a eye that's obviously rusted away to help lift the dome into position. What's really interesting about this station when it was constructed was, along with the facade and the roof, this would have been covered in local rock to aid in camouflaging the station. At some point in time, the local rocks that are actually attached on top of the dome have been removed over the years. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next base-in station here, which is B2S2 Battery 129. Okay, as we continue our way exploring the double base-in station here at Sutro Heights, we're now looking at B2S2 Battery How, and this is the top base-in station here at Sutro Heights. Same identical construction, same dimensions, 1-inch thick steel dome. You can actually see the remnants of the lifting eye that would have been here to aid in placing the steel dome into the structure. We have a steel visor for the observation slot, and obviously the entire structure is built out of reinforced concrete. Same deal with the structure below. This dome would have been covered in local rock, along with the facade of the station to aid in camouflaging this double base-in station with the local surroundings. So we're going to go ahead now and make our way to the roof and check out the elements up there. We're now on top of the roof of B2S2 Battery How, and we can see here the manhole entranceway to the station. Exactly the same setup as we had down at the lower station for M3 Mines 2. Hatchway here has been covered over with a steel plate from the Park Service, preventing entry into the station. It's originally had a counterweight balanced hatch cover that's obviously no longer here. We can also see the 1-inch thick steel dome. It's rather rusted state here. The lifting eye is also completely rusted away. Once again, according to the original plans, the roof and the dome and the facade of this station as well would have been covered in local rock to aid in camouflaging the station from view from the sea. So we're going to go ahead and make our way to the rear entranceway of the station and see how people actually got in. Okay, so before we go ahead and take a look at the entranceway of the station, and what's really unique about the combined base-in station here at Sutro Heights is that we have the original structure right here, which is the combined base-in station. It was originally constructed in 1942. And as an addition to the structure, we can see over here to the left, along with this vent, is actually the powerhouse for the combined base and station. So this was actually constructed in 1943 and integrated in with the combined base and station. So this actually looks like one combined structure in its entirety. We're going to go ahead now and make our way to the rear of the station and take a look at those elements. Okay, so we've now made our way to the rear end of the combined base end station here at Sutro Heights, government leased military reservation. The original combined base end structure, the entranceway is on the left, and the entranceway is covered over by a piece of plywood. The doorway and structure to the right is actually the powerhouse constructed for the combined base end station. And authorization for electrical power for equipment and lighting in base end stations at all fire control sites except where both commercial and fortification power were available was generally authorized on February 25th, 1943. Beginning sometime in 1943, a reinforced concrete dug-in powerhouse was constructed here at Sutro Heights. This contained one M5 3 kVA 125 volt electrical generator, serial number 6685, which provided power to the location in the event that commercial power from PG&E was lost. No underground fuel tank was needed, as the generating unit had its own fuel tank serviced by personnel from 5-gallon gas cans. Power output was 0.1 kilowatt for the powerhouse and 0.2 kilowatt for the combined base end station. Power was distributed to the fire control stations via existing commercial power feed. The power load could be transferred from commercial power to standby power by throwing a single 30-amp 2-pole double-throw Trumbull Company catalog number 70221C wall switch. Floor elevation of the site is 194 feet MLLW. The station was concealed by the existing fire control structure and hand-placed rock. Both base end stations at this time were outfitted with electrical lines, conduit, associated outlets, and type CSF1 light fixtures were required. Built at a cost of $2,031.70, including the existing cables, the powerhouse was then transferred to the Coast Artillery on June 27, 1944. Okay, just to reiterate what I was just talking about, here's the original entranceway to the combined base end station that was built in 1942. We can see that the doorway has been replaced by a piece of plywood. To the left of the station, or the rear here, you can see local rock that was actually placed here again for camouflage. And you can see the entranceway here to the original structure, and we can see the demarcation line here with the new structure for the powerhouse built on the right-hand side right here. You can see replacement steel doorway that's been installed, and this is actually built to make it look like one combined structure. So that about does it for this tour of the Harbor Defenses of San Francisco here at Sutro Heights Government Leased Military Reservation. Thank you for watching.